And So, Notes on the Bible and Religion. Episode 13, God of the Storm. With the flash of lightning and the hard clap of thunder, storms can be furious. They bring life-giving water to the earth, yet they can also uproot trees, topple buildings, and bring devastating floods. And they can kill. Storms are both life-supporting and life-threatening. It is little wonder that they were associated with divine beings in the ancient world. Water and storm are important themes in the Bible, so I touch on them again. It is safe to say that many in the ancient Near East believed that storms could evidence a divine appearance, especially when a storm raged on a mountaintop. Storm winds and lightning were even considered to be a deity's voice. Indeed, the word for voice in Hebrew is also one of the words used for thunder. Meteorological forces such as devastating rains, hail, lightning, and thunder were believed to express the anger of a storm god. A Canaanite god, mentioned or alluded to numerous times in the Old Testament, is Baal. Known elsewhere as Balu or Hadu, the stories of this god fit the storm god type. In Ugaritic literature, he is described as the rider of the clouds, compare Psalm 68:4. And images known from archaeology show him with a club and spear, representing thunder and lightning. 1 Kings 18 recounts a sacrifice competition of sorts between 450 prophets of Baal and Elijah, a prophet of the Lord. Ancient Israel had fallen into Baalism. As the competition to see who could call down fire from heaven began, Elijah said to all the people, "How long will you go limping with two different opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him, but if Baal, then follow him." Verse 21. The prophets of Baal fail, but Elijah prays and the Lord answers with fire from heaven. It is interesting to note that the chapter begins and ends with God also being in control of rain. See 1 Kings 18:1 and 45. And that Elijah himself will be taken up to heaven by a whirlwind. 2 Kings 2:1. There are several other biblical texts describing God's presence or action in storms. Psalm 77:18 states that the crash of God's thunder was in the whirlwind. God's lightnings lighted up the world. The earth trembled and shook. Twice God answers Job out of a whirlwind. Job had questioned God's justice. In the second reply, God asks, "Will you condemn me that you may be in the right? Have you an arm like God? And can you thunder with a voice like his?" Job 48-9. The God of the storm all but silences Job. Back to Elijah. Hiding in fear for his life, he encounters God, but not in the great wind or earthquake of fire that is shown to him, but rather in a sound of sheer silence. 1 Kings 18:11-12. Compare Job 4:16. In the New Testament, Jesus turns a furious storm into a great calm. Matthew 8:24-26. And so, the Bible's portrayal of God moves beyond the storm god type. God's influence is seen not only in the stormy blast, but also in the gentlest quietude, a God of storm and of calm. Something to think about. Like the superheroes and supervillains of modern stories, the ancient gods had particular powers and areas of influence. Stan Lee's Spider-Man had a purpose. With great power comes great responsibility. Compare Luke 12:48. What powers does God have? How many can you list? What powers does God refrain from using? Print and ebook editions of And So, Notes on the Bible and Religion are available on Amazon. More information on my work may be found at jasoncdikehouse.com.